The 2026 NFL schedule has been released. Of course, the Jaguars schedule out there as well. JP Shadrick with you. Mike North, NFL VP of Broadcast Planning with us. It's become an annual tradition, Mike. Your heavy workload is now complete. You're a busy man all year. However, the schedule release is kind of the grand part of your schedule, I'm guessing.
It is. I mean, it's 14 weeks of all day, every day, and really nothing else. But something like this deserves that level of attention. This is important. This is important to our fans. It's important to our players and our teams. It's important to the entire media industry. I love the anticipation and the leaks and the predictions. And, this is important. You can see how all the broadcast partners kind of lead with it in their upfronts. I mean, this is new ground for us. And it is imperative that we continue to do the best job we can, be as responsible as we can. It's a interesting mathematical exercise, knowing there's no right answer and knowing that it's a zero-sum game, right? Anything that's good for the Jaguars is bad for the Texans. Anything that's good for NBC is probably bad for ESPN. So narrow needle to thread, really trying to find that balance and make everybody, if not happy, kind of equally, minimally disappointed.
Well, that's a great goal to have, Mike. We appreciate that. The Jaguars this year have 5 standalone window games, including 3 primetime games at night, one on Thursday night, week 9, Monday night game against the Steelers, week 14, Sunday night, week 16 in Dallas against Cowboys, on top of the 2 morning London games. Why now are the Jaguars getting more and more of these primetime slots?
Yeah, they've earned it. I mean, there's really no other answer to that question. You win division titles, you're perennial playoff contenders, you have one of the superstars in this league at quarterback, you're going to be on the primetime schedule. And, you play your way into those slots, and the Jaguars have done that. The 9:30 a.m. Eastern time games have been a staple for a while, obviously, but I think you also see us kind of leaning into the potential for what those matchups can do now on NFL Network, and you see maybe an uptick in the quality of opponent. That Eagles-Jaguars game, in London could have easily been a Sunday night football game, a Monday night football game, a Thursday night football game, a Fox doubleheader at 4:25. Like, those are your 20, 25, 30 million viewer windows, and that's the type of matchup that absolutely could have held down any one of those spots. The fact that we're using it at 9:30 in the morning kind of shows you a renewed commitment, if you will, to the quality of those windows as well. Any standalone national game is just that. It's the whole league watching. It's every fan watching. The lifeblood of this league is still Sundays at 1:00, and you might have 8, 9, 10 games going on at a time, but there's no substitute for these standalone national windows. And primetime is one thing, obviously, but the holidays and these Sunday mornings, they're special too.
Mike North with us from the National Football League, VP of Broadcast Planning. When obviously another London game, the Texans game, division rivalry, those 2 teams went down to the wire last year. That'll be another one to watch, certainly, at Wembley. But when 2 of the 8 home games for the Jaguars are in London, that means there's not many home games left in Jacksonville, and there's only, 3 of the last 10 weeks the Jags are at home. That's you're running out of inventory at that point, right? And how do you balance that as a schedule maker?
Yeah, we had a lot of conversations with the team, with Mr. Lamping, with Chad Johnson, and of course with Tony Baselli. We knew the challenges that the Jaguars faced this year with the stadium renovation going on. It really came down to the 2 London games, and what the team was looking for was like what they called a donut, a 4-week donut hole where they could really get a lot of construction done. And, pray for good weather. We've got a lot of ground to cover and a lot of work to do. But any 4-week stretch out of your building's a lot. So once you knew you were going to have that 4-week gap, now you're talking about the weeks before and the weeks after. And the weeks before, we could have done 2 away and 2 home. We could have done 1 home and 3 away. You do 1 home and 3 away, and then you do the 4-week construction donut hole. Now you're talking about only 1 game in Jacksonville in the first 7 weeks of the season. I'm not sure that's the right thing for the fan. I'm not sure that's the right thing for the team, quite frankly. So once you make a commitment and you make a joint decision, all right, we should probably do 2 home and 2 road to start, then the 4-week donut hole. Then, to your point, that only leaves 3 homes over the last 10. However you sequence them, yes, the Jags caught a 3-game road trip. I'm not sure it's the worst 3-game road trip just in terms of travel and the fact that the first one's on a Thursday, so you get that kind of 10-day mini bye. So maybe it is a 3-game road trip, but it's really more like a Thursday, a 10-day, and then a 2-week home, 2-week away, home, 2-week away. It was just the nature of the beast. We'll see how they handle it. I think we'll learn a lot because I think this is something that we're probably going to have to deal with as we head into 2027 as well. It's a balancing act between doing right by the fan, doing right by the, construction that is necessary for the stadium in the future, and also doing right by the football team. I don't think we want them on the road the last 5 weeks of the season or on the road the first 4 weeks of the season. So trying to sprinkle out what's left of the home inventory fairly and strategically so that the season doesn't look too out of whack.
How long ago do those conversations happen before the schedule comes out?
I would say the team probably met with our international group, Matt Shapiro and Peter O'Reilly. They were probably doing that end of last season. So probably November into December. Hey, as we look ahead to 26, we're looking at 2 games. Can we take one of our, resolution obligation games and bring that up? And then we'll do one of our own like we always do at Wembley. I think those conversations were probably happening end of last year. And then once the 272 matchups were known when the regular season ends and we actually got into the process of, all right, where are we going to find homes for all 272 of these? Which ones of them are already kind of earmarked for international and who's got the interesting challenges from a stadium availability standpoint? Then it became a conversation with the team probably throughout February. And I remember vividly talking to Tony Vaselli in Phoenix in March, and if not giving him opponents, at least kind of laying out what we thought the home and away spacing might look like. And he kind of had his 2 options. You want the 2 home and 2 away at the top? Or do you want to be light at the top, a little heavier at the bottom, but still only 4 home games over the last 10 instead of 3? And he sort of looked at the 2 options, preferred this one. We made no promises. You never know. You got to break some eggs to make an omelet. And we did the best we could. I think it landed about where they expected, if not hoped. I'm sure wave a magic wand, every team would love to change 1 or 2 games on their schedule, but I think for the most part, this landed about how the team thought it was going to go.
Mike North with us, NFL VP of Broadcast Planning. Last couple ones with you here, Mike. What's out there that you haven't tried yet as a scheduler, as a broadcast planner? You've tried the double Monday nights. That's not coming back this year, at least. You got a bunch of Saturday, December games the last few weeks of the season that pop out. Obviously, the holiday games, Black Friday, Thanksgiving Eve, if you will. What's next? And what are you most looking forward to about the ones you have added this year?
Yeah, it's a great question. I'll take your second question first.
Okay.
What I'm most looking forward to is kind of Thanksgiving and really into the following week. Thanksgiving has become such a high watermark for us from a viewership standpoint. You see the records that we've been setting the last couple of years, and now you're talking about 47 million watching Detroit and 57 million watching Dallas. Last year, a good portion of that audience stuck around for Bengals Ravens Thursday night of Thanksgiving night, and it wasn't the Bengals season that they wanted. I think Joe was just coming back, Burrow was just coming back from injury, and the game wasn't actually super competitive, but still did 28 million viewers on Thanksgiving night. So I think you see us kind of leaning in now to Thanksgiving night with a KC Buffalo. It's as big as we get, really. And let's see if there's even a higher ceiling for Thursday night. Those 3 games are going to be on the heels of Wednesday night, which is going to be fun and interesting on a Packers-Rams game on Netflix. Then you still have the venerable Black Friday as we continue to grow that. That's Denver Pitt. So those, 5 games, those 10 teams, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of Thanksgiving. And I think I have this right. Of those 10 teams, 9 of them were in the playoffs last year, and the only one that wasn't was Kansas City. So clearly, we're leaning into the Thanksgiving holiday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then having the luxury of between those 10 teams, getting to pick 2 of them and bring them back against each other the following week on full week rest. So it's not another short week, and we're going to do Chiefs-Rams there. So that's what I'm most looking forward to for this season. As far as what else there is to do, Commissioner's been pretty clear. He wants more international games, and he tends to get what he wants. So as we wander towards 12 and 14 and 16 international games in a year, that's going to be an interesting needle to thread. A challenge, obviously, from a scheduling standpoint, but also, like we're talking about here, more national windows, more standalone games for our fans to see teams. Yes, you got the venerable national brands that are on primetime every week, but also a chance for teams like the Jaguars to play themselves into bigger windows. If I had a magic wand, if I had a wish, it's probably untenable unless or until we actually expand the season. If we ever do go to 18 games over 20 weeks and we start around the same time, we're going to push back a little farther into January with our regular season. All those Saturdays come into play, all those Fridays maybe come into play. And again, this is probably a bridge too far, but I'd love to see, let's say, the last 3 weeks of the season, for instance, all division games and all TBD. No networks, no dates, no times, because what do any of us know? It's May. We're looking into a crystal ball. These are live sporting events and aren't going to happen for 4, 5, 6, 8 more months. Like, what do any of us know? So I'd love the flexibility to be able to react in season, maybe even more than we do now. We don't flex that much. One Sunday last year, one Monday the year before, a Thursday the year before. But it's going to get harder, and as the season gets longer, it's going to be even harder to predict who's playing for what down the stretch. So, to me, more TBDs, more optionality, more of an opportunity to react to the in-season storylines instead of counting on the big brands in May. That's what I'd love to see someday.
Mike, you're sitting at Park Avenue. You know better than most. There's no bridge too far for the NFL. This is
anything's possible.
Come on.
I mean, I thought where you were going to go, honestly, was about flexible scheduling for the holidays, because that's gotten a lot of conversation the last few years. Would we ever flex a Thanksgiving game? Would we ever flex a Christmas game? And, kind of to your point, never say never. The COVID year taught us a lot. We could play on Tuesdays. We can play on Wednesday afternoons. We can get around and work around a lot of challenges. So in an effort to get the right games in the right windows, yeah, you're right. Never say never, but maybe not today.
Mike North, NFL VP of Broadcast Planning. Always a pleasure. Thanks for the insight, as always.
Good to see you, JP. Take care.